Hello, I'm Emmeline.
And I'm Kendi.
And welcome to Stuff with Moms, a podcast about shows, stories, and enjoying life.
So, Emmeline, how was your month?
It was so good. Hey, so first, I got a question. Did you finish your quilt? Your applique?
I finished the applique part and I finished the back. So now I'm so excited. I'm getting to the point where today, in fact, I'm going to tie it. I'm going to put it on a frame so that I can tie it together because I can't do the whole wiggly wobbly thing.
Yes.
My sewing machine isn't made for that. I'm not paying tons of money for that to be done. It's ridiculous. And so I'm tying it. It's going to look whatever. I
love tied quilts. They're the best.
Yeah. I don't even notice because my grandma has made so many and that's how she puts most of them together is by tying them.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it doesn't even register that it's a tied quilt. Like I know it is and you can tell, you can see it. But like when I think of a blanket that she's made, like I don't even see the ties. And
yeah.
No,
that's great. But... So, listeners, you probably noticed that we aren't together. Like we said, we decided we'd squeeze one more episode in before I go visit. So, we are still apart. But
yes,
you asked me, how was my month? So, I have some funny things to report. So, there's things that happen in the South.
Are you sure? Are you sure there's things that happen?
And that are unique to the South, and they're the best. So along the highway that we drive home, there is a gentleman that likes to sit out, out on the road, not on the road, right next to the road in his little chair. And just watch the cars go by.
Does he wave?
No, he just watches. And he's just this old guy. It isn't like his house is like behind trees. So he like has a chair in front of the trees right along the road so he can watch the cars drive by.
That is awesome. Okay, I got to interrupt. There is a lady. So we drive past an old folks' home every day, and there is a lady that will sit out, but she'll actually wave at you.
Aww.
Yeah, it's the cutest thing.
That's nice.
It's so sweet. Even in bad weather, like she'll get all bundled up. She doesn't when it gets too hot, but even in bad weather, she'll get all bundled up. She'll have an umbrella sometimes, and she'll just sit there. And she'll just be waving and smile. And then she'll like acknowledge you with a nod as she's waving.
Like, yeah, you can do it. You can wave back.
More like, yep, I see you. Thank you. That's how I interpreted it.
That's cute.
I was like, that's something I can see myself doing.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Being an old person sitting out. So that's funny that we both are seeing old people that's sitting outside.
Okay, I bet you can't. Bet you can't relate to this one. So on our drive home one time, Clark and I think it was when I picked him up from school. So the weather was nice, because it's always nice here. And a guy pulled in behind us, and it was an old guy. He's got like white beard and white hair.
Oh, so Santa.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of Santas here because lots of men grow out their beards. But and he was on a motorcycle and he was wearing overalls and no shirt.
Yep.
It was great. Relate. I was like, you can't see that anywhere else. It's awesome.
Yep. That is hilarious. Yeah, the South is definitely its own brand of different people.
And I love it. I know I've said this a million times, but their accent here is the best. And we're just surrounded by people that are full South.
Thick accent.
Yes. So
Have you come across someone yet that you're like, it's a little harder to tell what they're saying?
No.
Because it's so thick?
No.
Oh, okay.
I bet I bet for Kyle or
He went
Lorenzo
deep
it
south.
is, but I
Oh,
have
yeah.
I have a more discerning ear, I guess.
Hmm.
But I had a ladies' lunch yesterday where the little old ladies from our church go and have lunch, and they invite everybody from the ward. It's mostly old ladies and then me.
Yeah, nobody else shows up.
Well, it's just like all the other young people don't come.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's so great because they all just sit around with their heavy accent and they're just saying stuff. And it's like, yeah, used to could. They use used to could a lot. And oh, I just love it.
Yaunt to?
Yeah.
Is there yaunt tos?
Yep. Yep, there is. And it's the best. They're just so chatty.
Southern hospitality is an actual thing, and it's awesome.
It is. We've had some really cool lightning and thunderstorms lately, and you can just sit out because it's so nice. You can go out and run in it and jump in the puddles because it's not like cold when it rains here.
Yeah, I miss that.
And the thunder and lightning it's just been so awesome, and I love it so much. I'm like, come see it with me, kids. And they're like, it's just another one, Mom. And I'm like, no, it's so cool. Come watch with me. So they come out for a minute, and then they go back inside.
Placate. At least they placate. Do you think they'll stay in the South, or do you think their lives will take them?
I think Clark probably will, because I don't know about Lorenzo. I'm hoping he's going to meet a girl here, and then they'll stay here because he met her here, and her family's here. So that's my hope. But we'll see. He says he's a city boy, and he's going to live in the city. And I'm like, you've never lived in the city, so I think you'll get there, and you'll realize you don't like it.
Yeah.
Kind of like in the movie Summer Magic. It's an old Disney movie, and there's this one son who, grew up in the small town, and he went to the city. Anyway, he was like, I didn't like it. I'm glad to be back in the country.
As a kid, you want to be in the city because then you're closer to friends. But when you're an adult, you love being out in rural type places because you're away from that.
Yeah. Away from all the rules and I don't know, but there's adults that live in the city and they love it. So
yeah.
I'm just not one of those adults.
It's like if you grow up in smaller towns. And granted, there's always exception to the rule where somebody hates it and they never go back. But
yeah,
I don't know. In my experience, I feel like if you've grown up in a small town, you'll go back to a small town.
All right. Well, that's it for me. We've just been, prepping for the summer and getting everything ready to go. So it's been great. We're almost on our way. So
heck yeah, for your month and a half long too.
It's like 50. It's 50 days.
Dang.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun. How was your month?
So it was good. I am really bad at not pulling on the skin on my thumbs.
Oh no, she has 2 bandages on her thumbs.
Yeah. And it can get to a point where it's so bad that I have to put Neosporin and Band-Aids on them because I've picked too much.
Oh, like the cuticles and stuff?
Yeah. Okay. Like it's bad. It's really gross. So that's why I do my nails so that I can't pick at my thumbs.
Oh.
But also with my thumbs covered with Band-Aids, I also suck at texting. And so I feel like I have jumped into super old age or like a generation where texting is really hard. Because now when I text, it's like one finger and I'm like, boop, 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 boop. boop, and it takes forever. Like I was texting you today,
Mhm.
and it took forever. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. Because I remember, and it probably bugged the crap out of you, which it would, because it's rude, where I'd be texting like 3 people and talking to you. And I was so fast with those keys, like just super fast. And now I'm like, dude, dude,
You
dude.
can text and talk at the same time? That amazes me. I have to like pause talking to type stuff. Otherwise, I start either typing what I'm saying or I start saying what I'm typing.
No, I can't talk and text at the same time.
Okay.
It was because it was like in between. I was listening to you while I was texting, but I wasn't actually listening because I was texting.
Oh, okay.
And you were like, Kenny, I'm talking to you. And
I don't remember.
It was just once, I think, that I did it to you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was.
I don't remember
that time. Well, that's good because it was rude. But I just remembered the time back in the day where I was really fast, and now I'm like super slow because my thumbs are wrapped, and I can't do anything with them.
You need to get Band-Aids that have the like the gloves, that you still work even though
yeah.
Work on the screens. You need to get that can be your invention that makes you millions of dollars is Band-Aids that have the ability to screen touch.
Because I still kind of can. It just feels weird. I don't know why I didn't. Because I still can. I just don't know why I guess because my phone, I can unlock it with my thumb, but it's wrapped, and the fingerprint, the print on my thumbprint is warped because of all the skin picking. So I can't. So I have to use my index finger because I'm really bad at not doing that because it's been so long since I painted my nails. I have a problem. I don't know how to be done. It's kind of one of those problems where you're like, is it something that I should really focus on not doing, or is it because then the skin that I pull, it goes deep. Like sometimes it goes deep, which is why I have to then do Band-Aids to where it hurts. And then I'm like, okay, it's going to hurt. So stop doing it. It's like I'm trying to create a deterrent so I don't wrap them. So I'm like, focus on the pain. So you stop doing this. And I'm good. I'm good for a while. But then when they start healing, that's when the skin is like the best time to heal. I'm a picker, people. I don't know if you can tell. It's the worst. It's the worst.
I'm a picker
I came
too.
across another picker. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst. My hands are so dry that like my thumbs are easily prone to.
Have you ever watched the Pimple Popper Lady?
Ew, no, gross. I'm not like that. That's gross. Nope. That grosses me out. Do you like that?
I don't like it, but it's like satisfying to watch. Like, ooh, look how much came out of there. That was awesome.
Nikki's that way. She likes watching those. And then they get like the bugs that are in the skin, or like the
bugs?
Yeah, some people
nope.
Too far.
I don't want to hear about bugs.
Let's move on. Emmeline has the word of the day.
I do. It is limn. Limn for those listening. Limn.
Yeah. Limb. The opposite of the body part. Limb. Lemon. Limba. I'm just trying to bide time because I can't think of anything. I'm like drawing a blank.
Just make something up.
Okay, it's to activate the jets on a jet-propelled airplane.
Yeah, that's good. It's
Not even close, is it?
to describe or portray.
Oh, okay. To describe or portray.
Yep, portray.
So I'm gonna limn the plane.
Yep.
I'm gonna describe the plane.
Yep.
That seems weird. No wonder nobody's heard of it. It seems like a very underutilized
For good
word.
reason.
For good reason. Yeah.
Well, it's usually used in writing because people don't know that there's an N there, you know.
Yes, that is true, because it could be confused with limb.
Yep.
That makes sense. Which just use the word to describe.
But it's good for people that play Scrabble or Boggle or any of those word games. So
there you go.
There's your new word for all your word games.
Limn, you can do limb.
Yep.
But I'm sure if they play Boggle or Scrabble, they already know this.
That's probably true. Learn something new every day.
Yes, that is true. Like how the English language, we just have ridiculous words. I'm going to use a word to describe something else. It's going to be great. All right, so Emmeline has a question for us.
I do. What is a lost object that you would like to have back?
So I thought of two. I got a ring from my mom when I was little. We went to Zion's National Park and she bought me a ring. Sad part is I don't even remember what it looks like, but I remember I had it and I remember liking it, and I lost it in a church. I was washing my hands. I took it off to wash my hands and I left it because I usually didn't wear jewelry a whole lot when I was little. And when I went back, it was gone. Which really sucked. And then a Letterman jacket I got in high school.
Okay.
So yeah. How about you?
I had this Rudolph stuffed animal.
Mm-hmm.
And on his tummy, he had a little Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah?
With lights on it. And when you pushed the center light, it played Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And it was so great. He was like brown. He was the size of a little teddy bear, you know. Not a little teddy bear, a medium-sized teddy bear. And I just loved him so much. And maybe I lost it and my mom tossed it because it was annoying or something. I don't know. But one of the moves, he didn't make it to Alaska. And so I was like, oh, where's Rudolph? I couldn't find him in any of my boxes. And maybe I just forgot him and he got left behind. I don't know. But I miss Rudolph.
Yeah.
I still have Penny Pink, but I miss Rudolph.
Penny Pink?
I had two stuffed animals from when I was really little. One was a little pink teddy bear, and I named her Penny Pink. And then there was Rudolph, and I loved them both. And so I still have Penny Pink. She's on my headboard in our bedroom.
Oh, nice.
Because Clark found her one time and was like, you need to have your stuffed animal in your bed. And I was like, okay.
Sure.
So she's in there with us.
That's cute. That's awesome.
Oh, and then I thought of this one because I was like, oh, well, this is very applicable too. Something I've lost is some of my lung capacity. So for those of you that have cystic fibrosis out there, do your treatments.
Yeah.
Keep as much of your lungs as you can, because lungs help you.
They're kind of essential. And now we have wrong lyrics with Emmeline.
I was listening to the radio because apparently that's how I do this. But an AC/DC song came on. I don't know if you guys know this song, but I was singing along with it and I was like, these lyrics are fun. You know, dirty deeds and the Thunder King. Dirty deeds and the Thunder King. And it's so great. And you're just chanting along with them because they say that line over and over and over in this song. And I come in the house, I'm like, honey, look up this song, Dirty Deeds and the Thunder King. And he's like, and he knew exactly the song, apparently, because that's my husband. He's got a mind of knowledge.
Yeah.
He's like, do you mean Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap? By AC/DC, and I'm like, oh.
I like yours way better.
Me too. Dirty Deeds and the Thunder King's way funner.
Oh yeah, that is way better.
So if you want to listen to it and decide what the lyrics are, I think I'm right.
They should change it. You
But
should send
AC/DC.
in like letters or emails to these people and be like, I think you should change it to this. It would be a far better song and you'd get a lot more audience.
I didn't realize AC/DC was from Australia. So that's a fun
thing. Did we
thing.
ever find out what their name stands for?
Look it up. Let's look it up.
Alternating current, direct current. The brothers felt that this name symbolized the band's raw energy and the power-driven performances of their music. It is pronounced one letter at a time, though the band are colloquially known as
Akadaka?
Akadaka in Australia. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Oh, Australians.
Akadaka.
You guys are awesome. Someday I'll come visit you.
Right? I'd love to go to Australia. Not the parts where it's gonna kill you. The more populated areas. I don't want to die in Australia. No, thank you.
Akadaka.
Akadaka. Thunderstruck by Akadaka.
Oh. Dirty Deeds and the Thunder King.
All right, should we get into our main segment?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, today we're doing, so 17, go.
I called it Dad Problems.
It was Legacy. When Jonathan acts strangely, Clark believes that his Kryptonian father, Jor-El, is sending Jonathan messages and is the cause of his father's withdrawal from the family. Clark goes down to the caves to confront his biological father, but Lionel finds Clark there and begins putting the pieces together, leading him straight to reclusive scientist Dr. Virgil Swan, the reoccurring awesome guest Christopher Reeve, who knows Clark's origins. As the two billionaires face off, a deal is struck, and Lionel's true motives are revealed.
Dun, dun, dun. So, it was fun seeing Christopher Reeve again.
Oh man, that was awesome. I didn't realize he'd be in it again, so that was a fun surprise. And they did their thing at the end of it. It was great.
They did that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Please.
And he's like, please call. And then everybody laughs.
Yeah. So good.
That's great.
Donate to the Christopher Reeve Foundation.
Yeah.
Clark appears to Lex out of nowhere again to confront him about working with the FBI.
Right?
But
it's
like, where's your truck, Clark?
Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Where did you go?
Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Yeah.
And Lex is totally like starting to get sus. You know, he's very suspicious of Clark. He's like, you can see it, and the way Lex words questions toward Clark, like that he's totally like testing him to see if he'll tell him the truth, and he's picking up when Clark lies straight to his face, and you can see him kind of like being like, there's your little tick that you give when you're lying. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like, I know he'll lie about this, so I'm going to ask him so that I see his poker face, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they're starting to head into the they're not as friendly
Yes.
anymore. So it's as if they're starting to head towards the not so much friendly terrain.
Yep. It's starting to come out.
Yep.
And Lana like being all, I trust Lex. I
Yeah.
mean, he slowly kind of like befriended her.
Not slowly. He's always like talked to her and reached out to her.
Yeah, but it's like, I guess they weren't necessarily friends. It was more just like a
Business
yes. And
interactions.
now they're getting
Sprinkled in with, but I mean, he'd reach out to her to be like, hey, I can
and
help
help
you.
her.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think it's always kind of been there. Cause I mean, seriously, you got two guys that are friends and the other one knows the other one likes her. And then it's like the whole Jesse's girl kind of
Yeah.
thing where it's like, I
Yes.
want your girl.
Yep. But she's not really anybody's girl right now, so it's like
She's not. And then it just cracks me up where anytime they talk about Lana's friends, it's like she has no friends. She doesn't talk to anybody. It's as if she doesn't go to school. She's always at the coffee shop. There's no like she's just so ridiculous.
It's true.
All
Like
my friends,
they haven't showed
And
her
it's like,
at the school for a long time.
a long time, and she's not around a group of people. Like she's always by herself. It's as if Lana is siloed and Chloe and Peter and Clark, they hang out a lot more, but you don't even see Chloe and Lana together. Like it's just this ridiculous thing where they're only together out of the one time out of how many episodes has it been they were studying together, and that was just because they needed her to be with someone else. Oh, Chloe, we'll get her, not some strange girl, which would have made sense.
Not?
But
yeah, show that she does have other friends.
Yeah, she doesn't.
They have extras around. They could have used one of them
everywhere. Yeah, just smile at her while she's like talking about nothing.
Yeah.
She's a really good crier though. This
She
episode,
is.
her waterworks were on display and it was really good. It was
notch.
Ridiculous, but she's really good at crying.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you have any comments on the key in the cave?
No.
Okay.
It's almost like they're running out of steam and they're like, we got to recreate something. So I know, let's do the key in the cave again. So I got nothing with there.
Okay. What I thought was funny, because I listened to this other podcast where Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling kind of talk about Smallville.
Oh yeah.
And that's the Lex Luthor and Clark Kent.
Clark. Yeah.
The actors. And they talked about how people would bring them this octagonal disc. That's how they refer to it in the show. People would bring them this key from the cave that they use throughout these several seasons.
Yeah.
And to have them sign it.
Oh,
and
serious?
They were like, yeah. And Tom was like, I had no idea what I was signing. Like, what is this thing that people keep having me sign in? I was like, he didn't remember.
Oh my gosh.
The key.
He didn't?
No. And I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
He was like, I had no recollection until they started watching the show again that this key, what it was. And I was like, man, he was just so like,
he was so done.
He was so overworked in this show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, he has to be in every scene.
Yep. He's in a lot.
Yeah. He's the main guy. So he probably like, okay, that one's done. Time to move on to
yeah, and his brain kind of just blocked it out. And
yeah.
I was like...
Well, and it's interesting. And you kind of get it because the guy who plays Lex, like, that's all he's done, I think. And that was kind of like, he is Lex, where he just wants this friendship to because after they were done with it, like he wanted to relive the glory days. To him, it was the glory days. But for the guy who plays Clark, he's like, I can't even. I'm so done with this. Like he's probably was so sick of it. He's like, I don't ever want to be Superman ever again because it just probably destroyed his
He was so
mental
tired
sanity.
of like the primary colors that I think for a
Oh, I
while
bet.
when they ask him to act, he's like, as long as I don't have to wear red or blue.
I'll do it. Because it's everywhere. Like, there's a blanket that they cover him in. It's red. There's a pillow behind him. It's blue. It's like, we get it.
And he's wearing a red shirt.
always
He's wearing a blue
yeah.
shirt. He's always.
Which I get the subtlety of it, but it's like, they really did not have to do that. They really didn't.
No, they didn't.
At all. Like, they overdid it.
Well, I think
So
it's
I
like
get-
they thought it was fun at first, and then they were like, "Oh, well, this is kind of like what he does,"
Yeah.
and they
kinda-
didn't realize it was going to go on for so long.
yeah, probably.
And
Yeah.
so then they're like, "Now we got to do it."
They kind of got themselves stuck in a
Yeah,
rock and a hard place with that one. But
yeah. Okay, so I do have a question for this one. What have you tried to protect your kids from? Because this whole time, Jonathan's trying to protect Clark from Jarrell, from the hard
Whatever's
things in the
going on.
world.
yeah.
And on the opposite end, Lionel's trying to subject Lex to everything to make him stronger.
Yeah.
But what have you tried to protect your kids from?
Growing up. It's not working.
Nope.
No, I guess it's just interacting with other kids. I caught him on I'm not doing a good job of protecting him from watching things on the internet because then at the same time it's like how far do you go, because then there's too much overbearing protection where it's like half the stuff just goes over his head, as you well know, any of us listening, because you watch a movie you watched when you were little and you're like, holy crap, this is so inappropriate. But thankfully most of it went over our heads. So but there was a time where I caught him talking to this kid, and they weren't really talking about anything. They were just making noises. I don't think Anders even knew really what was going on. But it was this strange kid that it was like a live conversation.
What?
And it sounded like a kid, but it's also the whole fact of like, you're not ready for this because I'm not ready for this. I have not set you up for what this means out there. And he just downloaded this game. I don't even know how he got on to where this other kid was talking to him, but I was like, nope, you're done. You got to get off. And so I have to have a conversation with him where it's like, there are not nice people out in the world. You need to surround yourself with nice people. And so anyway, so that's basically just protecting my kid from the world. It's hard because there's so much crap out there. Like, and I know I talked about this the last time, but there's kids in junior high that are going around pretending to be gay, or there's like F-bombs that go, that kids just spout off in the hallways in junior high, high school, maybe even not elementary, but like, what's the one before that?
Middle.
Middle school, junior high, and then high school, where there's just these swear words that are going off, and it's like, oh, how do I teach my kid to not go into that? Because I know I said swear words when I was trying to be cool, and one time I did it because people were bullying my friend, and I can't remember if it worked or not, or if I could have done it differently, but anyway, yeah, it's just the world is so mean.
It is.
Thankfully, Emmeline will be oblivious to everything. I worry a little bit about her being bullied, but not so much because I feel like nowadays people are more accepting of kids with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
So I'm not as worried with her. I mean, I still need to take precautions and I'll still have to talk with her through things. And it'll just take a little bit for her to understand what's happening because I think with her, she gets it. It just kind of takes a while for her to get it. So yeah, it's just everything. Trying to protect my kids from everything. Just, I mean, he came home with a girlfriend one day. I'm not ready for that. I didn't even know he liked a girl, let alone a girlfriend that he had to break up with because he couldn't like anybody. I don't even know where he got that from, but what about you?
Well, I think
At
there's
where
certain
your
things
kids
that
are
we
at.
like don't allow in our home and we don't do, I think we kind of, for the most part, have abided by like, don't, like, until you're 13, you can't watch PG-13 movies. But because, there's such a big age gap between my boys. And if I like previewed it and I'm like, yeah, we'll be fine. Like, we'll let Clark watch a few things here and there. He's very good about it. Like when we read the scriptures, he won't even say like hell.
Oh yeah.
He'll like go, and they thrust Satan down to.
Make a face.
Yeah, and he makes a face and. Oh. And then Lorenzo's like, you can say hell when you're talking about the place. And Clark's like, no.
Yeah.
I remember being the exact same way with the scriptures. I'd be like, oh, it said a swear word. It said the D word. It said the A word.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it was so funny. So we've done a pretty good job there, I think. But like, there's times where I'm like, I'm sure, I know in other people's opinions that I definitely wasn't careful enough with them, like physically wise. Like they would go and climb things really high, and people around me would be like, "Are you gonna?" I'm like, "Well, if he falls, he won't do it again."
Right. I'm the same school.
And so I know that people don't think I was careful enough with them in that regard, and yes, they do have a couple of scars, but they know better. Yeah, they know their limits. They know what they can and can't do. And so I don't know. We're all our own kind of parent, I guess.
Yeah, I think you do a really good job. I think with movies, because I watched Minecraft, the Minecraft movie finally with Anders yesterday, and I was like, I told Matt, I was like, mate, I think we need to start watching movies before we decide if Anders can watch it or not. And he's like, honey, it's fine. I'm sure most of it went over his head. I was like, I freaking hope so, because that movie is so inappropriate.
For a little kid. Yeah, we went and saw it.
Yeah.
What's funny is Clark really likes the lava chicken song, which is great. Like,
oh yeah,
but it's the same thing where he says the H word in it.
Oh, he does.
And Clark goes when he comes, because he'll sing the song, la 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 lava, cha 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 chicken, na 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 na. I don't know the words, but that's kind of how it goes. But
I couldn't even remember the lava chicken song, but now I do. I remember.
I think my favorite part in that movie was all Jack Black songs that he did. Oh, they were so great.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just did not appreciate that movie at all. Poor Anders. He's like, Mom, did you like the movie? I was like, I can't lie to you, kid. I did not like it. He's like, what was your favorite part? I was like, how do you pick? Or no, he goes, what was the part that you liked most? I was like, how do you pick up? Like, there were a couple parts I laughed,
Uh-huh.
but I couldn't think of them at the time. I was like,
Kindy, I didn't like that movie either. Both my boys loved it. They
yeah.
thought it was great. And they're like, Mom, did you like it? And I was like, nope. But I really like the Jack Black songs.
Yeah. Anytime it was almost like a movie for him. It was like his movie.
Yep.
Which is fine, but I only like Jack Black, I think, in a couple movies. Like that switching movie with I can't even oh my gosh.
Holiday.
Is that the movie? Yeah, where they switch houses.
Yep.
Yeah, that one and then Orange County. But it's been a really long time since I've watched Orange County.
I haven't seen Orange County, I don't think. But I do like Holiday.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So it is cute. But that's about it. And then his song. I don't know what else Jack Black does, but he's kind of like Will Ferrell. I don't like Will Ferrell except in
Elf.
That one is that's who. What is it? It's the movie where he's so serious, and it's the author.
Oh, the Stranger Than Fiction.
Yes, yeah. Stranger Than Fiction. I love that movie. He does such a good job in it.
He does do a good job. I love him in Elf and Stranger Than Fiction, but I get
I
it.
can tolerate him better in Elf.
Oh, it's so glorious.
I wish I was more
hear that?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was quite a tangent, wasn't it?
Tangent, yeah.
Protecting our kids. So
protecting our kids. It's hard.
Yep. Okay, Candy, you had a question.
But I do want to say I love how you've raised your kids in being able to stay away from certain things. I think that's the key, is because we can't protect our kids from everything. I think the best thing that we can do is at least try to teach them to make good decisions.
Yes.
and I think you did.
Yeah.
You do a great job with that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So my question is, when is the whole Lana Clark thing going to be over? Because seriously, if I have to sit through another, we can't do this again, I'm gonna lose my mind, because it's like we can do, because Clark kisses her in episode 16, the last episode.
Yeah.
And then at the end of this episode, she's like, we can't do this. It's like, duh. I don't care anymore. Like, it is getting so annoying.
It is. And Candy, I'm sorry to say you're going to lose your mind, apparently, because it does happen.
Oh, why?
But there's good things too.
I freaking hope so, because this is ridiculous. If I have to sit through another Clark, we can't be together again. Ugh.
It happens probably like, I don't want to overestimate, but I don't want to underestimate. So I don't know, like 15 more times.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking you were staying the single digits. Like,
nope.
5.
It's gonna be.
God.
It's gonna be.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to fast forward through those parts. So if anything else happens in the parts that I fast forward,
no, don't fast forward.
I can't.
Kindy.
I could have fast forward through this one, and I wouldn't have missed anything.
That's true.
I wouldn't have missed a single thing,
except being annoyed.
That's okay. I'm okay with missing that. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
it's ridiculous.
It is.
Like, do they think that their audience is that dumb that we keep forgetting that they
were going to half their audience likes Lana.
Oh, that's disappointing.
We're just not that half.
We're not. The other half that hates her and wants her gone, and unfortunately, she's not. Although, I'm hoping. I have high hopes. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should lower my expectations. Because not gonna lie, when she was training with Lex, I liked her. Something about those two characters, when they put them together, she's more tolerant. It's weird.
More tolerable, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm tolerating her, not her tolerating me. Yeah.
I agree.
Ugh.
I agree. They have good
I don't know what it is. Chemistry
chemistry together.
writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's less whiny and less woe is me.
Because he makes her work through things.
Yeah.
And Clark's like, let me just save you.
Let me just take care of you, because that's what I do.
Yeah. Instead of her
Ugh.
her realizing because when she goes to Lex, it's because she's ready to
Do
work
something
on it
about
herself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, okay. So that's all I had about that one. Dad problems.
Dad problems. All right, so the next one is 18.
I called it Levitas.
Truth.
When Chloe accidentally inhales a mysterious gas at Luthor Corp, she discovers that it gives her the ability to get the truth from anyone who comes in contact with her, or who she talks to. And she goes to the Kents to find out Clark's secret on one of her things, because she also does a lot of damage at school. However, her new power is not without its consequences, and Clark must find an antidote before she discovers too much about him, or worse, dies.
I did not like
worse, expelled.
What's that from?
Harry Potter.
Oh.
We could die, or worse, get expelled.
Oh man, Harry Potter. Those are good. I did not like her in this one.
Chloe?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there were fun things.
Because even her being able to get the truth, it was as if her inhibitions had just left.
That's true.
Because
she kind of became this.
In prior episodes of like snooping, she would have learned, but she like almost didn't care. She's like, I got the truth. That's all I want. It's like, okay, but you're going to be left with a lot of enemies and no friends.
Yeah. So I think it's because I've always had this theory that the kryptonite power that you get has strengthens whatever
desire you have.
Yes. And so that she was searching for truth. She got doused with this gas. Like at the time that you get kryptonited, that it's whatever you were feeling then kind of gets heightened and powered.
Okay.
And so she was there trying to find out things. And so that's why she got this truth power. And because of that, it kind of heightened her desires for truth. Strengthen those desires. And so normal Chloe wouldn't have made those choices. But because when she got doused with the kryptonite gas, it kind of made it more of her focus.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
That's Emmeline's little trying to read into what the writers were deciding. Justifying it in my brain that's why that makes sense. So
yeah.
Because I'm like, for the most part, people are good, but then you get all these like super powered kryptonite people and they all seem to be bad. I mean, every once in a while you come across a good one, but it's because of whatever they were doing when they were kryptonite powered kind of.
Although I feel like the ones who have powers outside of Smallville are the ones that are nice. Like Ryan, he wasn't from Smallville.
But his wasn't a kryptonite power.
Nope. That's what I'm saying. I feel like the ones that they didn't receive from kryptonite are the nice ones, like Ryan, and then the other kid who could tell how you're going to die. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But those two kids.
Well, he was from Smallville.
He was.
Yeah.
No, he moved to Smallville.
No, he was just homeschooled up until then.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so just kidding. Ryan, I guess, is the only one that didn't get affected. So I guess there's only one who got kryptonite power that was good.
No, we've had a couple. We've had the shake hands guy.
Shake hands guy?
Just kidding. We haven't come to him yet.
Oh, no, yeah. The two guys
Yeah.
who got hit with the kryptonite. One
Yeah.
was bad and the other one was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like past.
Okay.
That's way past.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought we did that one.
I just couldn't remember. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that other one was good.
So I guess because
There is a
yeah. So
for the most part, there's exceptions. I feel like there's exceptions to the rule,
Yes.
but for the most part,
people
it's
are a
as
little bit crazy.
yeah, they get crazy and they don't care about the consequences because they're untouchable. I guess they feel like they're untouchable.
Right. The kid who thought he was an alien that could heal, he was
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
So anyway, sorry. Okay.
We're just
So,
tanging it up in
We
here.
are.
Although it does have something to do with your question.
It does. So, have you ever let the power of something go to your head?
I don't know.
Like now that you're in charge at the
Well,
whatever.
I think I do with as a parent.
I said so. That's why.
I've said that a lot to Anders because it's either I don't have the mental capacity at the time
To think of a
to,
reason.
articulate
Right.
articulate the reason, or I'm in a hurry and so I'm like, just do it. I just need you to do it. Or I just want him to do something so he'll learn something out of it. I don't know. Or whatever the reason, I know I've said it before to him. And sometimes I'll tell him to do something. It's like, I don't even know why I'm telling him to do it. I just want him
For
to
pride.
do something.
I do that too.
Where it's just like, I can't think of what I've had him do before. And it wasn't anything where it would help him or help the family. It was just, I just wanted him to do something just to do it. I don't even know what it is, but I've kind of been in management roles and I don't know if I've let it go to my head because I've felt so inadequate in that position. I don't know. What about you?
I stink when I'm in charge, so I know that I need everybody's help. I'm more of a good supporter.
Yeah.
Like, tell me what to do and I'll do it, but like coming up with the things to do, man.
Yep. I'm the same way.
And I feel like I become so serious. Like, so I'm the young women's president in my ward. So for our church, that's like, I'm in charge of all the girls from 11 to 18. And I have my counselors and my secretary, and they're great and wonderful. But, like, I feel like because I'm in charge and I have this responsibility that like bogs me down, and I'm not my fun self. I'm more serious, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because like things, I'll think of things afterwards where I'm like, oh, I should have done that, but why couldn't I think of that in the moment? Like I was in charge of the lesson on Sunday, and after everybody left, I'm like, I should have said like, good job, girls, on the things that they've done. But I didn't think of it because I was like, I need to get to the next thing, and I need to talk about this, and then we had a presidency meeting, and where I welcomed in our new secretary, and we were doing all the stuff, and we got through the meeting, and then they left, and I was like, I should have been like I felt like I was like, let's do these things,
just
and
to
I
the
was
point, yeah.
too serious, and I'm like, I turned into like this serious person. I don't like it. Because things need to get done, and I'm in charge, and I need to make sure the things get done, and it's
Maybe-
no fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if having an agenda could help you, because then you could put
I have
down...
an agenda. I need to put down, have fun.
Have fun. Yeah, maybe
In my
you
agenda.
should. And put down like, thank ladies for this or whatever. So
I do
that you
need to
don't
write those
forget.
things in, because if it's not written
Yeah.
down, I don't do it, apparently.
Yeah. So yeah, have fun and thank people.
Yep.
Just write down every single thing you want to cover.
But then
It
I'm like,
seems-
okay, next thing, and then I become serious robot lady again.
Yeah, so maybe every other thing to address, you say have fun. So that it's there, and your subconscious can take it in and send your brain that message or something. I don't know.
It's time for presidency meeting.
Because I get the wanting to have fun, but you also, you're there to get stuff done, because people don't want to be at church any longer than they have to, and so you got to just kind of get through it, but then also not be so serious. So I think it's just sometimes it's called for, and sometimes and you just got to figure out when that is.
Yeah.
That's the crappy part about being in charge. You just gotta
Be
figure it
serious
out.
sometimes.
Sometimes you do. I know it sucks, but
It does.
because I hate the meetings where you just sit there and you talk, and maybe it's just because I just don't want. There's other things I'd rather do than sit there and just talk to the ladies. I'd rather just get over and go home to do what I want to do, and but I'm selfish that way. So I appreciate let's just get
through the stuff.
Get to the point that we need to, and not just be goofing off the whole time.
Exactly.
Kind of a thing.
Because
So,
I'm the
I
same
don't
way,
know.
which is why I'm like, let's get through this thing so you don't have to be here longer than.
Yeah.
But I can. There's just
Oh,
like
it's not
moments where
bad.
I'm like, I needed to do that, and because I was so focused on getting through the thing, I didn't do the nice, fun
The
thing.
nice thing. Yeah.
Even if it took a few seconds, I just.
Yeah. I think it's just writing down the things that you want to cover.
I do.
Every single thing, which can be painful, and you're like, oh, I'll remember that. And no.
You don't. Nope.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our brains don't work that way. You got to write every single thing down. Make sure to tell the ladies thank you. Make sure to make fart sounds to make the meeting more entertaining. Make sure. I don't know. That's the first thing that popped in my head. I did that once though.
You did in a meeting.
I didn't write that down. I didn't do that. But when I was teaching, because it's always awkward for me to get into like the point from where you're starting and the point where you're like in it when you're teaching. I hate that. I hate that, like
The transition.
I suck at it and I hate it. And so I always get nervous. And so I told the ladies one time, I said, okay, I hate the transition period and I always get nervous right before we really get into it. So I might fart. Hopefully it doesn't stink. If it does, I'm really sorry. Looking back, that probably was not the best way to transition into the lesson, but that's what I said. And some laughed and some probably thought I was disgusting. But I told them when I get nervous, I fart. So I'm going to try really hard to hold it in.
That's awesome. Oh, Kitty. You're the best.
So it was good or it was bad. It was out there.
I think this is a great transition for this.
Sounds good.
I've always had very beautiful friends. Mm-hmm. And I've always been the other friend. So, Kindy, how does it feel being the beautiful one?
Oh my God. Nope.
It's true. Like every one of my friends, the boys are always after them. And I'm always like, okay.
Aw,
You're beautiful.
no, I'm not. I'm okay. It was funny because I've had a conversation with this guy once, and I don't look back on it thinking I'm ugly. I look back on it as reality, like reality's hitting. He goes, "You're not gorgeous, but you're not ugly. You're like in that middle." I think he said I was like I don't know what number he gave me. I can't remember, but I
What?
understood the context of what he was talking about because I'm not a looker. Like you don't double take to be like, "Oh my gosh, she's just gorgeous." But I'm not ugly either. I'm awkward. Like I make weird faces. I make weird faces. So, I know this. And I just have come to grips with it that that's just how I am and that's okay cuz I don't want to be like this fake
Who?
person where I just look in the mirror and have mastered all the good-looking faces that I make cuz that's not me.
All right. Who
Anyway,
was
I
this?
that. He didn't say I make weird faces. I'm saying I make weird faces.
But
Anyway,
not the person's name, but who was this person to you? Was he like a
he was a coworker. He was in the military with me. He was
okay
a coworker.
coworker?
Um,
That's weird. How do you guys get onto that?
I have no idea. I have no idea. How
You're
we got
like
on
a
this topic.
7.
You're like a middle person, but he also was like, but your personality kind of makes it to where you're
You're a 10.
more or something.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a 10.
You're a 10.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay to not be a 10. I'm okay with where I'm at, is what I'm trying to say. And I understood his point because he's like, you don't, because there's personalities with those types of individuals where it's like they really care about the looks. And so that's what they focus on.
Yeah.
And I'm okay not being that. And I'm not that.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm not a beautiful person. I'm okay looking. I'm passable to. So I cannot relate. I'm not.
You're a menace.
Well,
okay.
I have had friends where the guys levitate more towards them. So when you talk about this, I understand it. And it sucks. I get it. But it's also you have to understand that just because there's more levitating towards the other person, that doesn't mean it's welcome.
That's true.
Because in my experience, I've liked guys that don't like me, and the ones that like me, I don't like. And I feel like if it met in the middle, I'd be married a lot sooner. Like if we were both on the same field, I'd be married a lot sooner. And it just wasn't like there's guys that I've dated that I would not have dated had I realized what kind of guy that I actually wanted. I wanted a man. Like some of the guys I dated were more feminine than I was. And that's not a bad thing. It's just yeah. One of the guys I was engaged to held my hand and thought it was rough because I work with my hands and he didn't. So that is like a huge gross. Anyway. So it's like, okay, I'm definitely more feminine, or he's definitely more feminine than me in that way because he was like a computer guy or something like that and just never worked. I don't even know what I was doing because it was when I was living with Thinky and James. And it's not like I was working construction or anything. Like I have calluses. I grew up on a farm and I don't even now. I guess my hands were just dry. I don't know. But anyway, he was grossed out by my hands. So it's like, oh, okay. Whatever. Anyway, long tangent on that one.
Okay. How do you react when you know you're being lied to? In this one, it was like so many
people were lying.
Yeah, and then Chloe came in and got the truth. And the one thing that she's like, I ask you questions, Clark, because it didn't work on Clark.
Yeah.
her truth.
Which is interesting because it seems like he would have like fainted a little bit or something.
Yeah, maybe
it's such a small amount that it didn't affect him at all.
Right. But anyway, she couldn't get the truth out of Clark, but she could out of everybody else.
No.
And
that got her asking questions.
Yeah, she's like, well, then I'll go talk to your parents. Because they tell me the truth.
Yeah, because apparently she didn't learn all the other episodes ago that he doesn't want her to know
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you react when you know you're being lied to?
I don't like it. My son tries to do it all the time. And, well, he'll even lie to himself because I'll try and tell him something that's like, he can tell, he can see, and he's like, nuh-uh, because blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Anders, listen, I'm not trying to pull one over on you. This is, like, it's just the dumbest things, too. He's like, nuh-uh, and because this was going to the garbage, and I put it in the garbage. No, you didn't, because it's not in the garbage. It's right on your floor. Just stupid things like that. Anyway. Sometimes he's really good. He's really good at lying. He's really good. It makes me nervous because when he gets older, it's like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to tell.
Well, it's like one of those things as you grow up, as they grow up around you, you notice the different things they do. So you can always... Kids think that moms are like, have ESP or whatever it is. And we don't. We just know them really well. That's it.
Well, and then he just does not pay attention because he'll tell me something and I'll be like, oh yeah, I know. Or then he'll ask me a question and it's the same thing he told me. He's like, how do you know that? Because you just told me. What do you mean, how do I know? This is one thing that I never understood with Chloe. And so I want to know, I don't know any reporters, maybe you do, but do reporters truly have an issue when seeking the truth of like keeping boundaries with the people around? Like, I know that the story that they might not have a personal relationship with the person they're investigating in, but like within their family, or is it just something that Chloe just sucks at where she's just...
I think most reporters have like their own personal set of boundaries, and that's different for every reporter. Yeah. I don't know any reporters personally that are actual like professional reporters. Like I was a reporter for my newspaper, my high school newspaper. Yeah. But I don't think that counts as like a reporter. Unlike Chloe, who's...
You're dipping your toe in. She's like a professional
in high school.
Yeah, she's got all these connections that just magically appear.
That's true. She does.
And death wishes.
Oh my goodness. But like, I think they each kind of like, this is the box I'm going to stay in. And every once in a while they'll hop out of the box. But for the most part, they stay in their box of these are the things where I won't cross that line, essentially. Yeah. And every once in a while they will, and maybe they expand their box because of that, or maybe they're just like, now I'll go back to my box. But for the most part, they have their own standards and stay to them. Chloe, I think the power went to her head, and she was like, I am gonna get the answers that I have always been seeking and things that I've been curious about. And it kind of just went way overboard. And at the end, she acknowledges that, once she's better, she goes around apologizing to people and like, I'm so sorry. And that was crazy. And I didn't. Yeah. What I thought was interesting is she went and saw Lex and was like, what is it you really want, Lex? And he's like, I just want my dad to tell me he loves me. Yeah. Like, whoa. Wasn't expecting that.
Makes sense, though.
That's
I
what
mean, he
Lex is
wants
seeking.
yeah, he wants his dad's approval. He wants when he doesn't get it, he lashes out at him.
Hmm.
Like totally made sense.
I really liked the Pete, like, because Chloe was like, I'm gonna get my answers about Clark from Pete, and he was like, oh, like how he reacted was like, and then he kissed her.
Yeah.
And her reaction, and Clark's reaction, and his reaction, like, no, I can't believe that just happened. It was so like, it was so well done.
It was. It was very well done.
But then Pete's like, Clark's like, I didn't know you felt that way about Chloe, and he was like, I didn't ever have a shot with Chloe because she liked you, and you're you. Like standing next to you, which is always kind of like how I felt having beautiful friends. I'm like, it's not that I wanted every guy. It's like every once in a while I'd be like, ooh, he's cute. And that cute guy would ask my beautiful friend out. And I'm like, okay.
That sucks.
That's the reality. But it's like, next to you, Clark, I'm not really, like, I'll just go other places for.
Yeah. He's like, I live in your shadow.
Yeah.
Which kind of puts a damper in it. But yet they don't ever talk about it again.
Nope.
It's really annoying. It's like,
well, he kind of hinted at it here and there, leading up to this, with let's think, in the episode where they all get kryptonite, and he gives Clark a red kryptonite, and they all come a little crazy. He's like, it's hard being with you, Clark, but now you'll be fun. Anyway, he's hinted at it here and there. Where
that he likes Chloe?
No, that standing in his shadow's hard.
Oh yeah, gotcha. So, yeah, I'm talking about the whole
like
that he
Chloe
likes Chloe thing. Like it just is convenient for this episode, and that's it. Like they don't ever talk about it again.
You're right, but they do. There were times where Chloe, like Pete, would give Chloe eyes. But maybe I just noticed it because I knew this. And
yeah, maybe.
He'd be like, Chloe.
Or maybe they just decided to throw it in because it fit worked. And it was something to
That's true.
Keep Clark's secret a little bit longer for away from Chloe. It didn't fit because they don't even talk, because they hang out in the next episode, and at no point do they talk about it with each other at all.
Clark and Pete?
No,
boys don't do that.
Oh, no, exactly. Chloe and Pete.
Oh, where she isn't like, hey, you liked me, and you never said anything.
They don't talk about it.
Maybe it's awkward.
There's more awkward things, and they all talk about it. Everybody talks about stuff, except when it's not convenient to the writers. So dumb. I did think I was like, because the first time that Pete says something to Chloe about Clark, because she asks Pete what he's going to do, and he's like, oh, me and Clark are going to hang out, and Clark's going to get dinner at hot dogs from some place. It's like hours and hours away, and she's like, what? That's going to take you forever. And Pete's like, well, when Clark does it, it's like it's a couple seconds or something like that.
Supersonic.
So Clark's like, okay, Pete, we gotta, supersonic. We gotta go. And then he yells at Pete about talking to Chloe right outside the door, very loudly.
Yeah,
and you're like, what the freak?
She can hear you.
Atmosphere, yeah. It's like, couldn't you have walked a little farther and whispered?
Yeah.
So dumb. Anyway, do you have anything else?
Not from that one.
Okay. I don't either.
So
19.
I called it memories.
Close. Memoria.
Ooh.
Yeah. To regain key incriminating information about his father's past that he lost when his memory was erased, Lex joins an experiment experimental program headed by Dr. Gardner. Knowing that Lex will also remember the secret of Clark's powers if he regains his memory, Clark tries to stop him, but Lionel and Garner capture Clark and expose him to the same radical treatment that Lex was getting, hoping to reveal his mystery, which is crazy.
Yeah. So this one, it was like Lex was kind of, we had lots of Lex flashbacks. And we got to see him as a kid, and, you know, this really actually quite nice relationship he had with Lionel as a kid. That they're this, it was a loving relationship. Yes, Lionel was still kind of like, you need to learn this thing, but, you know, it was done very lovingly.
Actually
and
sweet, yeah.
Yeah, sweet. But his childhood's really sad. You see this birthday party where nobody's there.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting alone at this birthday party table, and Lionel comes in and is like, it's okay, son, here's a present. And it was this cool box that was made from Lancelot's armor, or somebody's armor. Some knight's armor.
Yeah.
Before he beat a dragon. But Lionel gave it to him and was like, you can take all your fears and put them inside and shut them in there, and then you'll be fearless. And it was just this sweet, like, moment between
Super
father
sweet.
and son.
Seemed counterproductive from all the other moments. Counter to what?
Yeah, contradictive of what
Yeah,
it looked,
their
what is life,
relationship.
their relationship now.
Yeah.
And by the end of the episode, you see the reason why. So
Yeah.
Lex's mom has a baby, a little brother, and she's like, I don't want you to pit these two against each other. I don't
She's
like
got
your
intense postpartum depression.
Oh, she does. And she's upset because she didn't want to have a baby to begin with, and she doesn't want this baby subjected to Lionel's brand of parenting, and to have her two children always fighting for Lionel's attention and all this stuff, right? But Lex is having all these flashbacks, and you see one of them is him standing over his now dead baby brother, and Lionel comes in and it's like, what's going on? What have you done? And like, he kind of like, his face like contorts into this, like, I'm
monster. Yeah.
Yeah. That he's,
to him, Lex had killed the baby brother, Julian.
So is looking into the past Lex's weakness.
Like, did it make him weaker? Or
yeah, like, is that because Lionel at one point says, you know, adults,
I don't think so.
Adults, you know, you need to move on from the past and stuff.
Yeah, but if you don't even remember, you can't move on from something you don't remember. And I think the not remembering makes you weaker because you're stuck on something that you can't quite grasp. And that hinders you from being able to move on. It's like this mental block that with it kind of causes you more issues down the line. But if you're going to confront it, then you can, it's not as big. I feel like it's bigger if you don't know what's going on, but when you do know what's going on, you're able to tackle it and basically take charge of your life, because the unknowable for him is what is kind of holding him back from being able to accomplish greater things. And so I think it makes him stronger because he's able to find out what actually happened. Like, and maybe if he finds out he actually did kill his brother, then that might make him weaker. But the fact that he didn't, and he is the victim of circumstance, I think just him knowing exactly what happened has made him stronger, because then he's not going to go crazy and think that Julian is a blanket when it's actually not. Yeah. So, yeah, and it is interesting to kind of realize that Lionel, he's treated him based on the knowledge that he has killed one of his kids. And so you kind of get why there's this struggle, but at the same time, it's like if he was being super sweet to Lex, why did Lex's mom think that they would pit each other against each other? Because he had like this really sweet moment. So that I don't understand.
Well, she just knew Lionel. She's like, yes,
Yeah.
you're sweet with Lex, but is this going to become a thing like you do in your business or in other situations in your life? It's going to become that.
Yeah.
So, but Clark does this thing. This was the worst. Like, who would ask this question? He was like, why does your father hate you? He asks Lex that. I'm like, what kind of a, like, first off, why would you
can
ever
tell by how he treats him.
Yes, but why would you ever, like, how would somebody react to a question like that, Clark? That isn't a nice question to ask. Why does your father hate you?
But it's kind of interesting because I feel like that is a skill that men have where they can ask those. They're
Abrupt.
more direct.
Yeah, the direct
they're more
questions.
abrupt. They don't consider feelings. They don't. I mean, they do, but like when it matters,
it's better to be more direct because then you get the direct answer.
Yeah, that's one. I guess I should just speak for myself. I envy that in men where they can just be that direct and not like I know they care about what other people think of them, but there's a point where they don't care about what other people think of them. And it's just this beautiful thing. You're really good at it too, where it doesn't matter what other people think of you and it doesn't matter their reactions to what you may do or say, because you know you and you know that you're a good person and that you're trying to get to this other I cannot articulate this, but it's just something. It sounds rude, but it's something that I think men are really good at, where they get to the point and they don't think about those things that kind of limit their ability to see things more clearly.
Oh, see, I was just like, that was a jerk question, Clark.
I thought it was great because then it triggers Lex to remember actually what really happened, and that's why his dad hates him, because his dad thinks that he killed his little brother.
Yep. And
it was
what
actually
was
the mom?
Yeah, that was
Mommy
the thing.
Killed so sad.
So get out of here. I'll take the blame. And he did. And he didn't ever break down and
Tell
actually
him.
It was mom, like, ever.
Yeah.
Which shows a real, like, I don't know. I don't want to say, loyalty. That's it.
Which I think is what he's trying to get from Clark, but Clark won't give it to him. And that might be like his core resentment to why they don't ever really become good friends and why they hate each other so much, is because Lex wanted that loyalty from Clark.
Yep.
Lex was willing to give it to Clark, like in his own warped way.
Yeah.
But Clark.
But at the same time, Clark had this feeling that he can't fully trust Lex because he doesn't know what he'll do with the information once he gets it.
Yeah.
So they both kind of like,
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so what is your earliest memory?
I don't have very many earlier memories. I've got one where we went to Disneyland when I think I was 5.
Oh, okay. Fun.
4 or 5. No, because Kelsey was 4. No, she was 2. So I might have been 4. And we went to Disneyland. And I remember going on the Small World with my dad. And then he also took me on Splash Mountain. No, I don't think so, because I would have been too short. He took me on something that was really scary. Or I had a dream about it. I don't know. But he did take me on Small World. I do remember that. And then, like, it all involves my dad. in my house in Linden. I remember coming in. He was napping on the floor, and we tickled him awake. I don't know if it really happened, but it all feels like a dream now. But yeah. What about you?
I remember walking in on my mom feeding Tim when he was a little baby, and I was like,
"Oh
yeah,
too much."
But like, and so I had to be like 3.
Yeah.
I think that's my earliest one. So
that's funny. I don't think I've got anything. Oh, I thought Clark was really dirty at this. I think this is the only bad thing that I think Clark does so far. Yeah, even on Red Kryptonite, because you understood it, but when Clark went to Lionel, to tell him about Lex trying to get his memory back, like he was that desperate.
He was using
he went to Lionel. Yeah. I mean, it bit him in the butt, but
it did. And I agree. And I think this was one of those growing points for Clark, was that in order to, because he was trying to protect his secret. He was also slightly, I think, justifying it in his head that he was trying to protect Lex from a dangerous situation, because this doctor's crazy, the one that's doing the experiments. So yes, he's also trying to protect Lex, but mostly I think it was for self-gain. And this was a point where he realized it isn't like I need to always be thinking about the other people. He had to make the mistake in order to realize that it was a mistake and not to do it again, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's how you should live your life. You shouldn't go around making the mistakes so you can learn from them, but
yeah. Yeah. I did love the end of it where he does find out his mom's name, and he's like, I can't believe I didn't remember that. It's like, you were a freaking baby. He was a baby going into the capsule. He came out on Earth as a toddler. So it's like, of course you wouldn't remember that. But I loved what's her name? Martha's line where she says, a mother's love never dies.
Yeah.
It made me cry.
That is a good line. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
It was very good.
All right, we got our tally board. We had one title in the episode. It was Truth, obviously. Everybody goes around saying, I told you the truth. Truth.
Yeah.
Like, truth is said like so many times in that episode. Probably like over 20. I should have counted. That would have been fun. But I realized it like partway through. I'm like, they've said that word a lot.
Yeah.
Mom in these episodes was said 24 times. We had 2 bad guy operas.
Yeah, we did.
And first name, last name, 24, tied with
Holy
Mom.
Crap, that's a lot.
Yeah. And then we had 1 reverse Bechtel, where 2 men talk about a girl. And it was in the Truth episode. It was Pete and Clark talking about Chloe. My favorite Superman reference was, the Christopher Reeve showing up again, because
oh man, awesome.
He's just awesome.
I think he'll always be the Superman,
the face of Superman.
Yeah. It will never change. There were so many eye roll moments. I'm gonna go with Lana telling Clark again that they're not gonna be together, that she's gonna go and discover herself. I gotta go and discover what I want. So annoyed.
Yep.
It's not like they were even together. He kissed her and that was it.
She was like, I can't
do that. And then she goes and cries to Lex, like bawling. her eyes out. And he's like,
But you
"Isn't
did like
what
that
you
part
wanted?"
because it was good crying. But
And that was it. That I was only impressed in the crying. I thought it was overkill because ugh, just anyway, we're done. I'm done talking about it.
okay. All right, our next episode. Yep, you've guessed it. We're going to be watching Smallville season 3. We're going to do episodes 20, 21, and 22. It's the last of season 3. So
It's gonna be intense.
oh, Kendi, it was so hard. So I watched them so that I'd be ahead on our trip and be able to, instead of having to watch them while we're out and about. I watched them already. It was so hard stopping because do you know what's next? The next season. Oh, I was like, no, it's gonna
get better. I hope.
Yes.
Oh, I freaking hope so. Because Lana's driving me crazy. I did see. I was looking something up, and I did see a picture of Lois Lane. That was a little sad, but. I want it to be a surprise, but it works.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's not on you. It's like 17 minutes of. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I mean, why not? Because we just this is a show that's been around many, many years. So if we're spoiling it for you, then you had no intention of watching it. But it was like it was like a clip of 17 straight minutes of Clark and Lois annoying each other.
Aw, those are so good.
Yeah. They're gonna have a love-hate relationship, I guess, or a hate-love relationship. They're gonna hate each other and then they'll love each other.
Oh, I was gonna talk about something we talked about last time.
Recap,
maybe not a recap. It was like you asked. I'd tell Lorenzo that.
Oh yeah,
I was a bussin' unk.
Yeah. What'd he say?
And his reaction. I was like, "Hey, I'm a bussin' unk," and he was like, "That's not how you use those words."
I had a feeling.
And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And he's like, "Nobody uses those words together."
Oh, okay. Yeah, because then nobody would know what you're talking about.
And I'm like, "Well, I am a bussin' unk." And then I did a cool dance. And then he was like, "Oh."
Rolled his eyes.
Hit his face.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
That was his
Thanks
reaction.
For following up on that.
Yeah, follow up. That's it. All right. We would love to hear from you. We post a question on our Facebook page along with pictures from the episode. We'll do something cool from this one. If you want to check those out, you can reach out to us there on Facebook or our email, and there are links to both of those on our website. And they're all listed in the show notes.
Help us grow by telling others about us, like sharing something you've learned today, like how Emmeline got shafted a lot with the men in her life because of the friends that she hung out with, and how we really just hate Lana. She's the worst. And how some words are better on paper than in your vocabulary verbally. Like lame. Limb.
Limn.
Limn. And how I don't remember anything. We would like to thank Red Productions for the music and Jonica for the logo. And to you listeners, we appreciate ya.
Toodle pip.
So mine thing isn't so much funny as it is cute. Emmeline, the younger, is starting to learn that what she says actually affects how we react, because we will ask her questions and she'll say, "Yeah!" And she means it. Every once in a while, she doesn't mean it. But she is just so enthusiastic about whatever you're asking her. Like, do you want Go-Gurt? Yeah! It's so cute.
That is
Oh,
cute.
it's freaking adorable. Let's go brush your teeth. Yeah! she's gotten to the point where she's finally shaking her head no when she means no. So at one point I'm sure we'll get to the no, but right now she's at the yeah, and she's super excited, and she's toned it down a little bit. She's not as enthusiastic. Like, we went swimming the other day and I said, "Are you all done? Do you want to get warm?" She's like, "Yeah." Like, okay. She was just tired. So, oh, she's a cutie.
I believe it. I can't wait to see her again.
Yeah.